going on with y'all, man? It's Black Balloon, and I'm finally coming back with another video. So y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Felt good to say the introduction. It's been a long 2 weeks. Like I said in the Travis Scott vid, I pretty much already broke the whole reason down while I was gone. Obviously got suspended 2 weeks. And y'all already heard the story in that video. That video was recorded like 2 or 3 days after the Travis Scott event happened. So that's that. I don't got to go too deep in it. But, hey, it feel good to be back dropping these videos. We got a lot of work to put out. We got a lot of videos to get done, man. That was a long 2 weeks. All right. So y'all already know what the topic at hand today is. We talking about young Dolph. Very unfortunate how this continues to happen in the industry, and it's like a repetitive cycle of rappers starting to get killed, and it's just it just seems like it's like every other few months we have somebody that's big to the culture, that's like important to the culture, or some kind of entertainer, rapper, actor, whatever, and they're dying. Obviously it's a lot more in hip hop than it is in any other genre, in any other form of entertainment. These dudes are really playing with that demonic energy, and they're really basically dancing with the devil without absolutely recognizing the consequences of doing just that, sharing a dance with the devil. All right. So obviously we're doing this video and we're talking about it from, the occult perspective and what we feel like this may have been, although, they have shooters on camera, you know. So we're just gonna talk about Empire, the distribution label. We're gonna talk about Dolph. We're gonna talk about the artists that have died, that was signed to Empire, and just kind of try to link a few things together and see what we got going on. Obviously Dolph died November 17th, 2021. And when we get his death, we just gonna get right into it. We're gonna go to Mo 3. We're gonna visit the most famous rappers that have died from the Empire distribution label. I don't know if they're just like a complete label. Obviously, they have multiple artists, but I think they're just more of a distribution label and not an actual whole label, because most of these artists were signed to actual labels, like XXX Tentacion. He was signed to Capitol Records, but I think he had a distribution deal with Empire. And XXX, obviously, he's probably the most famous to die from Empire back in 2018. We all know that he was a sacrifice, without a doubt. And we could talk about him a little bit more once we tie all these artists together. Now, Mo 3 was also a part of the Empire distribution label. Mo 3 died November 11th, right? Young Dolph died November 17th. Now, it's already went viral that Mo 3, King Von, and Young Dolph all died in the same month, in November. Now, Von died November 6, 2020 here in Atlanta. Mo 3 died November 11th. Young Dolph died November 17th. That is almost exactly 6 days apart from each other on each death. The thing is, Mo 3 died November 11th. So that puts 5 days in between Von and Mo 3, but it does put 6 days in between Mo 3 and Young Dolph. So that was almost a 666 right there. Very close. Very close. Because when I saw this and it started going viral that they all died in November, and when you look at the dates, I was just like, wow, because I saw Dolph and Mo 3 death dates first, and I was like, damn, that's 6 days apart. But then Von was only 5 days apart from Mo 3. But it still doesn't change the fact that these three, key number 3, they all died in the month of November. So we get King Von, Young Dolph, Mo 3, XXX, all tied to Empire, and they're all gone in very, suspicious manners. In our minds, we all think every last one of them was sacrificed. Now, I know for a fact Von, XXX were definitely sacrificed. I think Young Dolph was sacrificed as well. Mo 3, honestly, I don't know. Mo 3's, his may be, the biggest toss-up, rather he was sacrificed or not, because he literally got chased down on the highway, and there's a lot that goes into his death that I'm not really going to get into in this video. But Von, I did a video back, way back when this happened with Von, and I probably could have did another video on him just to really let y'all know that definitely was a sacrifice. He didn't do all the shit he did in Chicago. Dude is murdered up toward like 8 people. Was really supposed to have been in jail. He was supposed to have been in jail for life, but he just luckily he luckily beat a case where he had murdered someone outside of like a party or outside someone's house. Luckily he beat that case, which freed him for good, and he ended up becoming King Von. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying all that to say that he didn't do all the shit he did in Chicago. In the simplest terms, he didn't do all that shit, escape all that shit, and then come here to Atlanta and just end up getting killed and shot by Lil Tim and, that whole little crew shit. Not to mention he died on November 6th here in Atlanta, where the occult has literally, damn near made this their like second home. They pulled Von to Atlanta. They got him out of Chicago so they could set him up for a sacrifice for Lil Durk. It was pretty simple. That what I talked about it in the video long ago, but that wasn't none of that shit. That shit was not organic. That wasn't a beef. It wasn't just some shit that just sporadically happened. You know what I'm saying? They knew Von was going to die that night. The manager knew Von was going to die that night. It was completely set up. And the same with XXX. He was completely a sacrifice. Without a doubt. And all of these artists has ties to Empire, the distribution label. Now here's a picture of I'm guessing 2 of the 4 guys. I don't know if they said it was 2 or it was 4 guys. Might have just been 2. That are supposedly, they killed Dolph. Now, when you look at these pictures, you look at this as like, okay, this is some street shit. You know what I'm saying? You got two black dudes in Memphis, you know what I'm saying? You like, okay, Dolph, who knows what the hell Dolph had going on, what he was involved in, what kind of beef he had going back and forth with whoever in the city of Memphis. So on the forefront of it, you'll look at it as, okay, this some hood shit, you know what I'm saying? There's some beef shit, and that's all it is. You're not really thinking about it in any other way, because you just couldn't imagine that to be from a rapper who's not really, to you, not really involved in the occult. But the thing is, with young Dolph, you have to remember who Dolph was basically connected to family-wise. I think Key Glock was one of his cousins. Also, y'all have to remember that Juice WRLD was young Dolph's cousin as well. You got to remember that. If I'm not mistaken, Dolph was born in Chicago. Him and Juice WRLD were cousins.
All right, y'all. I'm finna sell my soul. I'm gonna hit y'all when I'm through. I'm gonna be rich as hell. All right.
This nigga tripping, folks. I told him, bro, man, he trying to sell his soul, man. Look, Juice selling his soul. It ain't take too long, Illuminati, man.
What'd you say, Coop?
Juice WRLD was sacrificed. Juice WRLD didn't overdose on whatever the hell they said he overdosed on. Fentanyl or whatever the case it was. Remember, we just talked about this in the Eyes Wide Shut video. When they tell us that they OD'd, they didn't OD off a drug. They were actually sacrificed. They told y'all in the Eyes Wide Shut movie. That is them telling y'all the truth. It's not just a movie. They're actually telling you what happens. They give it to the fans and the public as an OD. But behind the scenes, that person was really sacrificed. That person is dead. Juice WRLD is not alive. He's dead. So I want y'all to understand that. And you see this. You see this symbolism. Think about it. Why would Dolph choose to do this? On this album that he last released, Paper Route Illuminati. After having a career that he's had, why would he choose to have an album cover like this? An album titled Paper Route Illuminati just a few months before he died. And not even a few months, guess what? We get a key word. 3. We get 3 again. And if I'm not mistaken, when Dolph got shot, he got shot 3 times. A few years ago, he released this album 3 months before his death date. So think about it. A street rapper, hood guy, whatever you want to call him, from Memphis, connected to all this street shit. Why would he want to promote this? Ask yourself that question. Why would Dolph want to promote this symbolism? Why would he want to bring that energy into his life? Why would he want to try to dance with the devil? Because this is basically what he's doing. He's using this now, rather he knows it or not. Rather, he's had conversations with people who's taught him how to use this demonic energy. Who's taught him how to do black magic to gain more success, which this album was decent. It did pretty good. I don't think it entered the top 2 on the charts, but I think it was top 5. So if you think about him choosing to go this route, he'd never promoted anything like this before. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he did. Think about it. Why would he choose to start promoting this kind of energy 3 months before his supposed death date? You're playing with this shit. So if we can put this in a way where he's not really a guy involved in the occult, he's not doing this, but he just out of nowhere decides to promote his album with this kind of occult symbolism. This is the one eye with a triangle. So he's telling you he knows what this shit is about. Rather, he's like the most knowledgeable guy about the occult, or rather he's even an initiate. He might not even be initiated. This could be him playing with that demonic energy and using the spirits, using the energy to promote his album so he can go up a little bit more in the industry. This is clear because from a person who's supposedly like sort of independent, just got a distribution deal with Empire, this is you're promoting what the industry wants you to promote here. So it was one or two things. He either gave in to the industry or he was getting involved and just, playing with something that he didn't really know what the hell was going on, because you don't have to be, if what I'm basically saying, if you bring this kind of demonic energy into your life, if you want to taunt the devil and dance with the devil, things happen because of that. That energy carries negative consequences. It doesn't carry positive consequences. It makes it seem like it's something positive, that you're going to gain something from it. But eventually you're going to meet your maker, which is the devil, who you called upon. And this is huge. The biggest, because it looks like street shit. So the biggest connections to Dolph and the occult is this album right here being 3 months before he died, and Juice WRLD being his cousin, who was also at the time of his death one of the biggest artists in the world. And they completely sacrificed him. They let him come on the scene, do all of that, drug stuff, do all of that, basically depressed stuff. He got so much more kids depressed on top of their own depression. And then you listening to Juice WRLD, you dwell into your depression even more because it feels good. And especially when you add drugs and shit on top of it, depression feels good. It makes people want to go dwell into their own depression. That's why they promoted artists like Juice WRLD and X and then took them off the scene. Because it only, and it, like, if you want to think about it like, oh, it increases the awareness of mental health. No, it doesn't. Not in a good way. Because now you got depressed kids believing in other depressed kids, doing what they say they're doing, which is pills and drugs. That's all Juice WRLD talked about, was pills, drugs. So you have to think about why they are using these artists. They're using them to get to your kids, so your kids can stay depressed. They don't ever get outside of that mindset because it feels good, bro. When you depressed and you smoking, you taking pills, you down, you on all these downers, and you in your shit, you in that depression, you in those deep, dark thoughts, it feels good. Yeah, you're depressed, but guess what? To those people, it feels good. Why? Because I've been there before. I've been in very dark places before mentally. And it feels good to dwell in that shit because that's what you think you're supposed to be doing. Until you realize that these are evil spirits that are controlling your mind and just really breaking your soul down, because you're not supposed to feel like that. You're supposed to be on the love frequency. Loving yourself first off. So that's why they use artists like X and Juice WRLD. Remember, Juice WRLD is connected to this story because of Dolph. X is connected because of Empire. They're all connected. This is the industry we're talking about. So we got to understand, young Dolph, supposedly being the street guy that he was, he stepped into this. He made a choice. And 3 months later, I believe he's killed for that choice. Rather, this was a direct sacrifice from the occult, or this was him playing with that energy and he received a consequence that he probably never thought he would have received. He was murdered. Or hell, this could have been a setup. This could have been a hit from the industry. People in the industry, they know where Dolph is going. That's easy. It ain't got to be Dolph friends or folks he beefing with. They can easily set up a gang hit, quote unquote. They can set that up easy, bro. That's nothing. That's nothing to them. That's easy. That's easy to do. So, and that's for the people that think this is just straight up street shit. All right, y'all. Now, the last thing I want to get into about Dolph, and just to kind of tie, a few numbers in with it, because if you remember when I said a little bit earlier in the video that Dolph was actually shot 3 times back in 2017. Because remember, that's why he was like riding around in a $300 armored, truck, bulletproof truck or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I forget exactly what it was. I think it was like some kind of bulletproof truck. So I read an article. I read an article that actually said, which is right here, 2017, young Dolph was approached by 3 men and shot over beef, according to the Los Angeles Department. He was critically injured, but he survived. Earlier that same year, he was involved in another shooting where at least 100 bullets were fired at his SUV. Now, the crazy thing, remember earlier when I was saying I didn't know if it was 2 or 4 people that fired shots at Dolph. I'm assuming just 2 of them were actually captured on camera. That's what I'm going to assume. But in this article, it actually says that he was approached by 3 men as well at the bakery that he was going to get cookies. So, you know, obviously with that, that's not a coincidence. That also, when he just got murdered, it was by 3 men that were basically there to kill him. Now, the crazy thing about this entire, story, obviously Dolph died at 36 years old. He released that album 3 months before he died. 3 men were there on scene to kill him. He was also approached by 3 men in 2017, and they shot him. Then that same day that Dolph died, within 6 hours in Memphis, all within 6 hours of each other that same day, 3 other people were murdered. In Memphis. In 6 hours, 3 people were murdered in the same day. What does that also give us that relates back to Dolph? 3 and the 6. He died at 36 years old. That's crazy, right? There's no coincidence. That just goes to show you that the occult is very strong in Memphis. It goes to show you that the occult lives in Memphis as well. All right, y'all. Now, here are basically some occult connections to the word Memphis and the city of Memphis in itself. Because when I saw that picture of the pyramid, like the replica of the Pyramid of Giza that's in Memphis, this guy right here, it made me kind of like research a little bit deeper. And then I found that there was actually a Masonic Rite of Memphis, which is basically like a subset of this Egyptian Freemasonry that was created by whoever Alexander Cagliostro. I don't know. He's Italian. That's kind of hard to pronounce. So don't even, pay attention to that. But this article goes on to say that he must not be identified with the mystifier Giuseppe Balsamo. He's Italian as well. I don't know. Palermo, Italy. I don't know how to pronounce that. But basically it says that guy was actually recruited by the Jesuits to personify and throw dirt on the real Alexander, who actually created Egyptian Freemasonry. Now, you have to also remember, the Black Pope is the supreme general of the Jesuits. He is the leader of the Jesuits, and all Freemasonry today leads to the Black Pope. So it makes sense in this article why he said that this Giuseppe guy was recruited by the Jesuits to personify the real creator of the Egyptian Freemasonry, of the Egyptian Rite. Meaning that they were basically trying to infiltrate that, take over, So it makes sense, as in today, why the Jesuits, everything leads back to them. All the top-ranked Freemasonry, Freemasons in the world basically report to the Black Pope, to the Jesuits. They work for them. and you can find it if you look for it. So that makes a lot of sense, that ties that together pretty well. Then it goes on to say that Alexander was initiated to the secrets of the Egyptian Freemasonry by mysterious master, whatever that is. Y'all can read it. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Altothis, I don't know. In 1776, though. So as y'all know, 1776 was the year that the Illuminati was actually founded by 6 members, which this article feels that a lot of people didn't actually know, and I didn't actually know that myself. I'm not gonna lie, most of us just know Adam Westhop. We didn't really look too further, into who were the other guys that were basically at the table. So obviously, this guy Alexander, who's the real founder of Egyptian Freemasonry, was he was one of the members that were basically secretly there that founded the Illuminati. And once again, this is all relevant to tying occult connections to the word Memphis and to Memphis and the city itself. And just the fact that they have that pyramid in the city of Memphis. So, it goes to show that all of this stuff is connected all the way back to, highest masonry in this world, back to the Jesuits, and back to this just all being exactly what it is, like a murder by numbers, ritual sacrifice, so I definitely thought this was pretty interesting to go ahead and put in the video, to just kind of, once again, connect all the dots. And we can see that the occult is, they're behind every single event that happens like this, bro. And as much as y'all want to believe that it's some street shit, as much as you want to convince yourself of that, just because that's what you're used to seeing and that's the easiest shit to believe, then you go right ahead. It is what it is. Yeah, it always be 2 sides to the fence. But with that being said, though, man, I think we wrapped that video up. I think we covered it pretty well. Y'all already know, man. Hit me in the comments with what y'all think about it, and we're gonna go back and forth as usual. We got hella content on the way, man. It was a long 2 weeks, I say it again. But it feel good to be back, so y'all already know what's going on. It's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon.